You sing in the shower, don't lie. Maybe in the car too. You hit that high note like your neighbors aren't real. You sing English songs you barely understand, and somehow you remember every word from that one Taylor Swift bridge. But the moment someone asks you, can you say that in English? You freeze like your brain just saw a ghost. Welcome back to Monday English Podcast, where we don't fix your voice, we fix your fear of using it. This episode is not for the grammar nerds. It's for the shy singers, the secret karaoke lovers, the ones who mouth the words to shallow but whisper, "Sorry, my English is bad," in public. Today, we're flipping the script. If you can sing one English sentence, you can speak one. You already know the rhythm. You already feel the emotion. Now it's time to open your mouth and stop pretending you're tone deaf and language deaf. Here's what we're covering today. First, we'll hit your tongue needs gym, not grammar. Because, surprise, your mouth is lazy. Then we're diving into lyrics are just sentences wearing glitter. A sparkly way of saying that songs are better teachers than textbooks. And finally, bad singing builds brave speaking. You'll hate me by the end of that one, but you'll also stop being scared of your own voice. Look, we're not training for the voice. No one's giving you a record deal, but you are training your mouth to stop panicking every time it hears English. And music is your secret weapon. So, congrats, you've just entered the world's most off-key language course. No talent required. Just guts. Let's begin. And don't worry, we'll keep your singing voice a secret, unless you send it to us, which, honestly, would be hilarious. Anyway, segment 1 is waiting, and so is that weird sound your mouth makes when it forgets how to say work. Let's go fix that. Let's get something straight. Your English problem isn't grammar, it's your mouth. Yeah! That thing under your nose that only works when you're complaining or lip-syncing Beyonce. You think pronunciation is about reading those weird phonetic symbols in the dictionary? Cute. You want good pronunciation? Then your tongue needs the gym. And no, I don't mean yoga for your jaw. I mean repetition. Use it or lose it. Right now, your mouth is a lazy couch potato, scared of saying anything that might sound wrong. Well, guess what? It already sounds wrong when it's silent. Here's what most people don't tell you. You can't think your way into better speaking. You can't understand your way into better pronunciation. Your brain can't do the push-ups for your mouth. It's like learning to dance by reading about it. Sure, you might know the steps, but you still trip over your own feet. That's why singing works. It forces your mouth to move in rhythm, hit the sounds, feel the music. It's not just fun, it's physical. Your tongue, lips, jaw, they all get a workout. And the best part? You don't even need to understand the meaning of every word at first. Just copy the sound. Let your mouth follow the music like a baby copying their mom's voice. No shame, just repetition. Let's talk about rhythm. English is a language of beats. Some words are strong, some are soft. This is called word stress. It's like music. You say table, not table. And songs help you feel that naturally. You don't have to study it. You just sing it. You also learn how words connect. Native speakers don't say, "What are you doing?" like a robot. They say, "What you doing?" That's called linking sounds. When words stick together like gum on a hot sidewalk. You'll never learn that from a textbook, but you'll hear it in almost every song. Let's go deeper. Songs show you reduced vowels. That's when sounds get lazy and short. For example, in the word banana, we don't say ba-nana. We say ba-na-nu. That little ba sound is reduced. It happens everywhere in English. It's one reason your perfect classroom pronunciation sounds nothing like real life. Songs teach you that. They train your ear and your tongue to copy what real people say. And maybe the most important lesson, songs teach you when to breathe. Hint, it's not after every word. You ever hear someone say, I am going to the store, like a lost robot with asthma? Yeah, don't do that. Singing teaches flow. You speak in waves, not blocks. It's breath control, baby. Like boxing, but with lyrics. You don't need a private teacher for this. You just need a song. Pick one that's slow and emotional, not rap, not EDM, something simple, something sad. Adele is perfect. Someone like you is practically an English pronunciation class with a piano. Every syllable is clear. The pace is slow. You can sing along and sound decent by Thursday. Same with Perfect by Ed Sheeran. It's not just a wedding song, it's your new accent coach. You don't need to sing well. You need to copy well. That's the real win. Now let's pause for a second. Here comes the excuse I know you're thinking, but I need to understand the words first. No, you don't. You didn't understand your first language when you were a baby, but you still talked. Understanding is great, but copying comes first. Understanding grows with time. Right now, your job is to move your mouth. You memorize word lists like a nerd hoarding magic spells, but can't say one fluently. That's like owning a gym membership and never going. Sound familiar? So what does this look like in real life? You wake up, you play one verse of a song. You don't just listen, you repeat. Out loud. Slowly. Again. 3 times. First time, you'll sound like a potato with a speech problem. Second time, you'll feel a little less weird. Third time, your mouth actually starts learning. It finds the right shape, the right flow. That's how muscle memory works. And once your mouth knows what to do, your brain stops panicking. You start speaking without fear. You start hearing things in real conversations you didn't notice before. That's progress. Not perfect, not fast, but real. Even 5 minutes a day is enough. One chorus, one verse, one part of a song. Don't aim for the whole track. Aim for one small win. And if you're worried someone will hear you and laugh, first, you're not that important. Most people are too busy to care. Second, they probably sound worse in your language. Let them laugh. You're training, you're learning, you're doing the thing they're too scared to try. Here's your tiny action task. Pick one slow English song and repeat the first verse 3 times today. No background music. Just you, your mouth, and the awkward echo of learning. And when that starts to feel less weird, you're ready for what's next. Let's keep going. Because lyrics aren't just pretty lines. They're real English hiding under glitter. Let's be honest. You say you want to speak English like a native, but you still study like a robot. You sit there with your grammar book, writing full sentences like, John has gone to the store, while real people are out here saying, he's at the shop. There's nothing wrong with grammar, but if you want to sound natural, you need to study real sentences that people actually say. And guess what? Songs are full of those sentences. Real, emotional, sometimes dramatic, but always useful. Lyrics are just sentences wearing glitter. That means they are normal words dressed up in rhythm and emotion. You already know this. You've heard, I miss you, let me go, I don't care anymore. These are not fancy words. These are feelings, and they're repeated over and over in songs. That's what makes them powerful. That's what makes them stick in your brain longer than anything in your textbook. Want to sound fluent? Start sounding human. Let's try an example. Take the line, I can't feel my face when I'm with you. That's from a song by The Weeknd. Weird sentence, right? But it's full of real grammar. I can't feel uses a modal verb can't, plus the base verb feel. It's short, it's emotional, it's correct. Now say it out loud, slowly. I can't feel my face. Pause. Feel the words in your mouth, then say the whole thing again, this time with feeling. That's how you start owning it. Now let's try another one. Let me go. 3 words. Let means allow. Let me go means please allow me to leave. This is something you might say to a friend who's hugging you too tight, or a toxic ex. Either way, it's real English. Strong, emotional, and simple. Say it again. Let me go. You're not just learning grammar. You're practicing tone. That's called intonation. It's the way your voice goes up and down when you speak. It shows how you feel. And no offense, but your English probably sounds flat right now. Like Siri reading a weather report. That's what happens when you only focus on being correct. You lose your soul. Let's keep going. Try this line. I don't care anymore. That's from a song by Phil Collins. Also used in 1,000 breakup texts. It uses present simple tense. I don't care. Then the word anymore adds a time limit. It means you used to care, but not now. Simple grammar. Deep feeling. Now say it again like you mean it. Imagine someone just insulted your cooking. You stare at them and say, I don't care anymore. Boom. That's English with attitude. Last one, you were the one. This one's from Adele. It's past tense. Were is the past of are. You were the one means you were my special person. It's soft, sad, and full of regret. When you say it, don't just read it. Breathe it. Feel it. Let your voice break a little. That's what English learners forget. The goal isn't to sound perfect. The goal is to sound real. Now, let's take a second to call out one of the classic excuses. 10 phrasal verbs from YouTube. But you still don't know how to say I'm tired with feeling. You say it like a robot powering down. Where's the drama? Where's the real voice? That's what lyrics give you. Not just meaning, but emotion. And emotion helps you remember. Lyrics also help you steal useful phrases without guilt. It's not cheating. It's learning. You're allowed to copy how people speak. That's how kids learn. That's how actors learn accents. You want to sound more natural? Then be a copycat. Steal lines from songs. Repeat them in your daily life. Change them a little if needed. I don't care anymore becomes I don't care about that meeting. Let me go becomes let me sleep. Use them. Twist them. Make them yours. Also, lyrics are full of contractions. That's when words are pushed together, like I'm, don't, you're, he's. These are the sounds of real English. No one says, I am not happy today. They say, I'm not happy. Songs teach you that better than any grammar exercise. Plus, lyrics give you repetition. And repetition is how your brain finally stops panicking and starts performing. Let's be clear. You don't need to understand the full meaning of every song. Sometimes lyrics are weird. Sometimes they're poetic or dramatic or totally random. That's okay. What matters is the lines that feel true to you. If one sentence hits you because it sounds cool or sad or honest, write it down. Say it out loud. Practice it until it feels easy in your mouth. That's not a waste of time. That's training your voice to sound more like a person and less like a textbook. So here's what I want you to do today. Find one English song. Copy 2 lines into your notebook. Say them out loud like a drama queen. Don't whisper. Don't be shy. Act like you're in a movie. That's your job now. That's how you train your English voice to match your English brain. And once you stop caring how silly you sound, you're finally ready to get brave. Let's talk about how singing badly can actually build speaking confidence. Because it does. And I've got stories to prove it. Let's go. People laugh at bad singing. And laugh louder. At least you're making sound. Most people stay quiet and call it studying. That's not learning English. That's hiding from it. If you want to speak English, you have to train your voice to come out even when it feels weird, ugly, or wrong. Singing does exactly that. You're not singing because you're good. You're singing to get good at speaking, at using your voice without fear. Let me tell you the truth you don't want to hear. Confidence doesn't show up first. It shows up after you sound silly, after you try, after you mess up. When you sing in English, your brain takes a break from grammar. There's no time to worry about the past perfect when you're trying to hit the chorus of Let It Be. You're not analyzing. You're doing. That's the key. Singing pushes you into fluency without asking for permission. Now, here's what happens when you repeat a song over and over. You build muscle memory. That means your mouth remembers the sound even if your brain is tired. Muscle memory is when your body learns a skill by doing it again and again. Like riding a bike or typing without looking. At first, it feels hard, but one day it just works. With English, that moment happens when your mouth suddenly says the right sentence without help. You freeze for a second. Then you smile. That's when fluency is born. Not from tests, but from practice. Let me tell you about a student I had. She was shy. Very quiet. She knew English grammar. She knew vocabulary. But she never spoke. She said, "I'm scared I'll sound stupid." So we tried something new. I told her, forget the grammar. Pick a song. She picked Shallow from A Star Is Born. Yeah, the one with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. She sang it every day. The chorus, the bridge, the ending. Out loud. At home. Badly. And one day she came into class and said, "Can I try reading something?" She did. And it wasn't perfect, but it was loud, clear, and brave. Later, she went to a job interview. She didn't use big words. She used her voice. She got the job. That's what singing teaches you. Not just sound, but bravery. The kind of bravery that shows up when your brain says no, but your mouth keeps going. When you sing, you don't wait to feel ready. You move forward anyway. That's the same feeling you need when someone asks you a question in English and you have no idea what the second word was. You smile, you guess, you try. And that moment only comes if your voice knows how to survive the fear. Here's another win. Singing trains your brain to not freeze. You know that moment. Someone says, "How are you?" And your mind goes blank like an empty Google Doc. That's not because you don't know the answer. It's because your mouth isn't used to speaking on the spot. Singing fixes that. You practice starting, you practice continuing, you practice finishing. Even when it's bad, you still finish the line. That's what speaking needs: momentum, movement, and singing gives you that. Let's crush another excuse while we're here. But I'm not a singer. No one asked you to be. You're not auditioning for The Voice. You're trying to survive a conversation at work, at the store, or during a trip. You're scared of being judged. Beyonce wouldn't pass IELTS either, but she'd still get hired first. Why? Because she uses her voice. She takes up space. So should you. Bad singing is beautiful. It's real. It means you're trying. It means you're showing up. The same way a child tries to speak before they can read. No fear. Just effort. Adults forget this. We want to look smart. Safe. Perfect. But safe doesn't grow you. Perfect doesn't show up. Progress shows up in sweat, in noise, in singing a song 5 times before you finally hit the timing. That's the win. That's what rewires your brain to say, I can speak English, even when I don't feel smart. Singing also teaches you to love your voice. Even the version you hate, the quiet one, the shaky one, the one that disappears during presentations. The more you use it, the more it shows up for you. And slowly it stops sounding like a stranger. It starts sounding like you, but in English. You stop cringing, you start laughing, and that's when the fear starts to leave. Your job is not to sing well. Your job is to sing often, to repeat, to fail, to record, and yes, to play it back and survive. The first time will be horrible. The second time, still bad. The third time, slightly less painful. That's your progress. Not applause, not perfection. Just less pain. So here's your tiny action task. Record yourself singing one English chorus. Don't share it. Just play it back and survive the cringe. If you can do that, you're braver than 90% of English learners. You're not just learning the language, You're living in it. Let's take that energy forward, because the only thing scarier than singing out loud is never using your voice at all. Let's talk about that next. You think singing is silly? Fine. But silence is worse. Let's not pretend you're staying quiet because you're respecting the language. You're staying quiet because you're scared. Scared of sounding weird. Scared of being laughed at. Scared of hearing your own voice and thinking, wow, that's what I sound like in English? Yeah. It's awkward. Welcome to the club. Nobody sounds amazing the first time they speak another language. Or the second. Or the 50th. But at least they're speaking. You keep waiting for confidence, like it's a pizza delivery. But you never place the order. You scroll YouTube, you download worksheets, you highlight lyrics with 5 different colors. But when it's time to actually say something, suddenly your headphones are too loud, or your neighbor might hear you, or your dog looks too judgmental. The excuses get creative, but the result is always the same. Silence. Let me remind you of something real. You already speak in your own language. Loudly. You argue. You gossip. You sing birthday songs off-key at family dinners. You are not a quiet person. You're just quiet in English. And it's not because your mouth doesn't work. It's because your brain is full of fear. Shame is heavy. But guess what? It doesn't get lighter if you carry it quietly. You have to drop it out loud. And singing is one of the safest ways to do that. You don't need a good voice. You need courage. Singing is just speaking with extra emotion and a beat. That's it. It's not a concert. It's a tool. You sing to train your voice to show up even when your brain wants to hide. You sing to teach your tongue how to move. You sing to remind yourself that mistakes don't kill you. That bad pronunciation doesn't set the world on fire. It just makes you real. I once met a student who said nothing for 2 months. Nothing. Then one night, she got dragged into karaoke by friends. She sang Bad Romance like her life depended on it. Did she sound amazing? Absolutely not. But something changed. The next day in class, she answered a question. 1 sentence. Then another, and another. It wasn't magic. It was momentum. Sometimes your mouth just needs a spark, and singing is the match. Here's the truth. No one cares how you sound. They care that you try. They care that you show up. And the more you speak, even badly, the more your voice becomes a tool instead of a trap. You don't get brave by waiting. You get brave by using your voice again and again until the fear gives up. So here's your dare. Sing something. Anything. 1 line. Yes, out loud. Yes, while looking at yourself in the mirror. Face the awkward. And then keep going. Because your voice isn't broken. It's just waiting for you to give it permission. Let's take that fire into the next part. Because now it's time to make this messy habit something you actually keep. Ready? Good. Let's build. So, here we are. You've listened to a full episode about singing in English, badly. You made it through mouth workouts, emotional lyrics, and 1 brave karaoke story. And no, your voice didn't explode. Your house didn't catch fire. The English police didn't come knocking. So what now? Let's make it simple. You don't need to study more. You don't need to wait until you sound like a voice actor. You need to open your mouth and use what you've already heard 1,000 times. You've listened to English songs for years. You've memorized lyrics without trying. But now it's time to stop being a silent fan. It's time to sing. Loudly. Wrongly. Repeatedly. Because every line you sing is 1 more brick in your English voice. And if you build it long enough, guess what? It stops sounding like a mess and starts sounding like you. You already have the tools. You've got a phone, you've got a favorite playlist, you've got 5 minutes a day. The only thing missing? A little shame-destroying action. That's what this episode was about. Not music, not singing, but saying goodbye to fear. The fear of sounding dumb. The fear of doing it wrong. The fear of trying. Let's be honest, that's your favorite excuse, right? I'll start when I feel more confident. Sure. And I'll start going to the gym when I wake up with abs. No one ever feels ready. But the people who improve, they start anyway. They mumble their way through the first verse. They laugh at themselves. They record and cringe. But they do it again the next day. That's what growth looks like. It's not clean. It's not pretty. But it works. Slowly. Loudly. Honestly. So here's your one task. Just one. Pick a song you like. Sing one full line out loud today. That's it. No perfect grammar, no beautiful accent, just your voice, your breath, and the courage to keep going. Start there. Start ugly. But start. And if this episode kicked your lazy English in the teeth, then gave it a hug, you know what to do. Subscribe to Monday English Podcast so you don't miss the next roast, challenge, or tiny win. Share this with your friend who says, I understand English, but I can't speak. Yet somehow knows all the lyrics to Love Yourself. Tell them this is for them, and tell yourself that too. We'll be back next Monday. Still tired, still sarcastic, still pushing you to speak before you feel ready, because your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be used. Now go sing something off-key and brave. Your future self will thank you. Eventually.